Friggin'. I'm listening to a different playlist today. It's AI music still, so I won't have to worry about like copyright or anything. I do have a few small things to do on the YouTube side, and after that, we will get started playing some matches. I haven't even really looked at my actual quests. You guys can probably see them already. I haven't been playing Magic Arena as much recently, so I got that going for me. So I have a few quests kind of built up, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. This stream is not really about doing the quests, so even though the title is like that, there it is. The real objective of this stream is to make clips. So we're gonna probably do a wide variety of decks. Lizard deck and like maybe the airbending the deck. Stuff like that. I got today off from work, so probably aim for about maybe like 3 hours of stream. And all of the YouTube stuff is done. I don't make thumbnails. All right, and there that is. Okay. Hey, Toaster, how's it going? It's been a while since I've been able to stream like consistently. I've been kind of going through a bunch of stuff, but yeah, I've been playing a little bit of Magic: The Gathering Forge as well. And that's that. Like I have kind of a playthrough going for that, but I decided to do Arena today. As you can see, I've slipped down to Silver because I haven't been playing Ranked, if I'm being completely honest, and I'm not even really all that far in the Mastery either, so I'm not going to get any of that sweet Avatar swag that, you know, was available. Did come up with a few new decks. This one, which leverages random encounter and also breakout in order to make use of firebending and earthbending. It suffers from the same thing that normal random encounter decks suffer from, which is the random encounter spell is too expensive to actually use. Like you're already pretty screwed by the time you can afford it. But I mean, the Badger Mole Cub is actually proving to help out with that just a skosh, because it can have you generate additional mana. It also has enemies like use up their removal on it because it is kind of like one of those things. This is like a half developed deck because I didn't have the wild cards to get everything I wanted. Let's see here. I tried a mono black deck. That's becoming not even about Avatar anymore. I don't know if there's many Avatar decks in there. This deck right here is interesting. It never worked out, but my idea was, let's see here, Sandworm. So when Sandworm comes out, it destroys an enemy land, right? That's cool, right? And then they search their library and put another land out. So basically, how many lands is in a normal deck? Like 25, 24, 25. So how can I use Sandworm to destroy every land in their deck? And my solution is we doppelgang the Sandworm. And if we get enough copies of the Sandworm out, they'll run out of lands. It hasn't happened yet, because I think I need to also include copies of Doubling Season. Yes, Doubling Season. And that would make the doppelgang like hit a little bit harder, like significantly harder. And I don't know if this music is going to work for the stream. Yeah, it hasn't worked out also because everything I'm doing here is really expensive. I found that Elvish Refueler is amazing though. It allows you to use your exhaust abilities more than once. So in order to get all my lands out, what I do is get these Sky Serpents out, and then I exhaust, and that pulls two land cards up, and then I just started playing today. That pulls two land cards to your side, every time you exhaust that, so that can quickly become like all your lands are out by the end of it. And after that point, it just comes down to having the cards I need to do the combo. And like, if I get the combo going, they're dead already. So the land thing never comes into play. That's another reason why that hasn't worked out. I made a airbending, like this airbending deck where I use threats around every corner to get a lot of land out and get some 2/2 creatures down. And then I use airbending to basically remove it from the field and then put it down again to get even more land and more creatures and all that stuff. And depending on what creatures that comes out using the Manifest Dread mechanics, I can airbend those back into hand and then cast them. So let's say this Overlord comes out, normally costs 5 mana. I dread it out, that's like on the field, then I airbend it and then use 2 mana to get it onto the field for real. It's a way to save mana while getting mana onto my side. I'm probably going to play this deck today, in fact. It's a neat deck. It's just kind of like mechanically dense. It takes a while to actually do things with. So yeah, those are the kind of the decks I've been making recently, like spending a little bit extra time on. Red, green, white, blue. Oh yeah, we'll just do the bending deck. I haven't named it yet, by the way. But yeah, that's a good deck. Yeah, it's all right. The only thing I can think of adding to it is a little bit of blue. There's a blue creature from the Outlaw of Thunder Junction that reduces cost of like exiled spells and plotted spells, and what people don't realize is that also counts for airbending too. So it reduces the cost of those spells by 2, and airbending costs 2 mana, so as a result the airbending would be free at that point. The only issue is it's a green-blue creature, and this is a green-white deck. So I'd have to come up with some way to add it and be reliable in terms of like actually getting it to trigger. He's gonna sacrifice that to kill my boy. Ah, cool, white, nice. This comes into, this is useful, more useful than you would expect. Whenever face down permanent enters or is turned up, put a 1/1 counter on it and a 1/1 counter on this. So that just functions well with the dread mechanics. And no reason to fight. We're just gonna wait. We got 2 airbendings. Probably use one against one of his creatures. That is not great. If enters, put a 1/1. When it leaves the battlefield, sacrifice a land. Ooh, I could be annoying. So this is what I was talking about with the sandworm. Check this out. Boop. He has to sacrifice a land now. And no attacks. So if he pulls it back out, he'll throw another land onto the field. Is this a real player? Yes, I think, anyway. There's actually no guarantee that it's a real player. I want to say it is, based off of how long he's taking with his turns and stuff. But honestly, there's not a great way to tell if it's a bot or not. Deals damage equal to its power to a creature. Now we're holding off on that. I could take a hit. It's 20 HP. He only has 1 mana. Probably, if he has any spells, it would buff it up to 5 damage. Alright. This is actually a pretty good card. The first part of this enchantment makes it choose a card. Like, I can choose one of his more expensive cards and he has to sacrifice it, essentially. And it's also a great target for airbending, too. And people don't read these cards all that often, so sometimes they choose another creature alongside it, and both of them get sacrificed. It's a really weird card. I don't know why you would choose to do that, but I mean, you can, I guess. Like, I just don't see the benefit of choosing a different card than the one that's listed. We'll just attack with this. Sorry, I got my mouse on my knee right now, and I don't have a proper desk or anything, so sometimes when I try to click on something, it gets a little bit awkward. Is this game on Steam? Yeah. Although I will say that the more you play the game, the more you realize that this game does have some problems in terms of like shuffling and like matchmaking and stuff like that. I still play this game personally because it's really good for figuring out new decks and stuff. But yeah, it does have some issues with how it actually does like shuffling and stuff. Also, it's a free-to-play game, which means it has free-to-play like monetization too. So you at first you'll only have access to a little bit of like a couple of basic decks and stuff like that, and over time you'll get like decks, like packs and decks and stuff to help fill out what you need. I can have both of us draw 3 cards. I'm not going to do that. We're going to throw out another land, and we're going to airbend this back into my hand. I'm getting a call. Oh god. Oh god, 1 second. Can you guys even hear that? Yes, you can. Okay. 1 second. Okay, cool. That was just my job calling me. They had to swap up some scheduling and stuff like that. Sorry about that. I wasn't expecting a call today. And I use Google Voice, so what the fuck was I doing in this game again? Oh right, I was getting my ass slowly kicked. So the the main mechanic of this deck hasn't come into play yet, the Manifest Dread yet, which is unfortunate because this card gets stronger when Manifest Dread is actually being used, and other things. Oh, here's a Manifest Dread card. So the way this card works is it manifests Dread, and then I can bring a target permanent from my graveyard back into my hand. So it's pretty useful. It's okay. It does this thing. Unfortunately, it's a combo piece, so we're going to use United Front instead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what United Front does is you pay a certain amount of mana. In this case, I'm paying 2 mana to begin with, and then I add more mana on top of that to make X 1/1 ally tokens and put a 1/1 counter onto everything that's on the battlefield for me, my stuff. So I chose 5, so I'm going to put 5 1/1 tokens out, and then put a 1/1 counter on top of them. So it'll be 5/2/2 creatures by the end of this. He's either going to give up right now or try to do something to counter this. He didn't do anything. Okay. So now I got a 2/4, a 2/2, a 2, and 5 more 2/2s. And yeah, it's pretty decent. Pretty decent start. And I don't care about these 2/2s. If he continues to attack me the way he has been, I'm just going to throw these at him and just sacrifice a few to thin his numbers. This Saga over here, its last step has it transform into a creature. Now, the creature's pretty good. It's a 4/5 flyer that has airbending, which is nice. Where do you see the amount of mana you have? That's how many lands I've put out so far. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7 mana available in the lands, and my enemy has 6 mana in his hand. You can only put 1 mana out, or 1 land out per turn. The lands are color coded, so I got 4 white, 2 green, and a colorless. And he has 6 red. And that determines what creatures you can put out and stuff like that. He has 3 mana he hasn't used yet, so he probably has some kind of buff card in his hand. He also has a lot of cards that disable blocking, by the looks of it. So 2 of my creatures can't block this turn because of the effects of these cards. What's this do? Other goblins you control get 1/1. Okay. I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world. Alright. We'll do this, and this, and this. So we're blocking. There's a chance he has a card to, like, spare one of his cards there. But we'll see. I have 12 HP left. He has 15. I'm kind of playing the long game where I'm trying to get complete board control, where he's trying to wipe me out, essentially. That's a pretty decent idea you had there. What do the colors say about the cards? Oh man, that's a crazy, that's a difficult question. So the colors determine what the cards, or like the color families, like are good at. So essentially, when what's this do? Airbend. Oh, okay, I see. We're up to airbend that. We'll do this again. Okay, that was some trickery, but not all that much. And no reason to do that. No attacks. Okay, so colors, different colors are different, good at different things. Let's take green, for example. Green is good at making big creatures. Gave up. Green is making good big creatures with high stats. So like the power and toughness, like the 2/2 and the 1/1s I've been talking about, they have a lot of cards that are good at making those specific creatures stronger. They're also good at getting a lot of lands out for more mana. And here, let me go into the deck so I could show a few cards that are related to that in the deck I was just playing. So here's a green card. This one, when it enters, you can search your library for a land card and put it into the battlefield, and when you sacrifice it, it does the same. It does that again. So this is for getting more lands out. This card right here is for adding more mana. So it's another. It's basically a creature that is a land as well. This one gets more lands out along with creating creatures. This one produces new lands whenever it enters and attacks. That's basically how green works. It makes a lot of land and a lot of big creatures. I don't have very many big creature things in here. I'm just aiming for mana. The way white works is it makes a lot of small creatures, but makes a lot of them like more creatures than normal, essentially. It also has a lot to do with like shared situations. Like if you get a card using a white card, there's a chance that the enemy will get a card. That saga that I was using kind of runs into that, where it was offering both of us the ability to draw 3 cards on that second step, which is interesting. But yeah, basically my recommendation if you want to get into this game is to figure out a color that you kind of are interested in, and see if you can like just play that color for a little while. I started with green to make big creatures and use specific mechanics from a set from a long ass time ago. A lot of those mechanics are no longer in standard, but still cool to know about and all that stuff. Oh, also there are color combinations as well. There's a lot of like dual and tri-colored stuff. So this guy is whenever a face down permanent you control is turned up, put a 1/1 counter on it and a 1/1 counter on this creature. It in some ways has like a combination of both green and white in terms of its stats and effects. Because it's an elf, it's an archer, it has a lot of interesting like synergies because of those two like things, and also it's you know, it's just useful. Also, sweet, he has an enchantment. It's so rare that I get to actually use these farm animals and have them like do things. These farm animals, when this creature dies, you gain 3 life. Use 2 mana to sacrifice this creature and destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. So that's basically my only artifact and enchantment thing that I can use to remove like someone's stuff. Yes, I am playing ranked, so it does kind of have a trophy system. It's like an achievement-based thing built into the game. Although I don't think there's any like Steam achievements or anything like that. It's just something that's built into the game that you pick up stuff over time. 1 second, we'll throw this guy out. Alright, and we'll do this. We're gonna blow this up. Alright, and we will not attack. Just making sure he doesn't get much use out of that. Oh fuck, I just realized what this is. God damn it, this is not great. Okay, well, we need some air bending. What's the mana cost on that? What's the mana cost on this? Mana value 3. Okay, great. We just need 1 white mana and we can take this out, no problem. Yep. Okay, this bird, this Final Fantasy bird is actually a bit of a threat because it gets strong while it's dead, but it gets stronger every time a land on his side comes out. That's one of the green's like main things that they can do is they have a lot of landfall decks that have triggered effects whenever you add more land to your side, and there's ways that you can make it so that a lot of land comes out. Was that overpower or overprotect? Yeah, it was. That's not good. That's a spicy card that he has. Okay, so this Undergrowth Recon is not great for me because what it does is at the beginning of your upkeep, return target land card from your graveyard to your battlefield. So he's got land cards that sacrifice themselves to pull out more land cards, and that's not good because that means that he always has access to this particular, oh well, that's dead, particular card. Shit, that really sucks. Okay, we're still fine, we are going to go ahead and make sure he does not have a great time with this Hydra, because if I let him have this Hydra for more than a few moments, let's see if he chooses the same thing or chooses something else. I've seen plenty of people choose something else, and that's a mistake. If he chooses the same creature that I did, then that's the right way to go about doing this. He fucked up. Okay. He's out of cards, but he has a shit ton of land. When they have 0 HP left. There's a few alternative win conditions, honestly. But for the most part, it's when enemies have 0 HP. Another way you can win is if the enemy has 0 cards left in their draw pool, but that rarely happens unless you have a deck that's specifically like trying to do that. Okay, got the first one of those out. This is about to become a real card. I wonder if I can I do this twice? Can I do this again? Can I have this out and then this? Or is this like a situation where it's like a one card thing? I think I can have both of them out. Fuck, that's not good. I can't remove that using this trick. Okay, this guy's a little strong. He has a landfall. When a land you control enters, put a 1/1 counter onto a target creature. But he also has the ability to double the number of 1/1 counters on each creature you control. So, is there a card limit for decks? Yes, 255, or 250 rather. It's usually not a good idea to try to do that though. Okay, this is about to become a real card. The good news is I can airbend these. And that'll get rid of all the counters that are on him. The minimum amount of cards is 60 for at least the mode I'm playing. We gotta get rid of that recon. That's a lot of cards, yeah. I mean, once you start playing this game and opening up boosters and all of that stuff, you'll see that it's not too hard to actually get that many cards. And if you do get into this game, I would recommend doing jump starts first, just because jump starts are they get you a lot of cards just off the bat. Okay, neither of these have trample, so I can't block. It's not like I can't block. He's definitely... well, son of a bitch. His low mana cards are screwing me here. Anyway, he's definitely, like... going to make these as strong as possible. I never go for the extra 3 cards with this, by the way, because it oftentimes just screws me over. Gotta block. Oh, fuck it, I'll do it this time. I feel like I'm losing here. Alright, 2 things we could do. Well, we're doing this first. Okay, this one's a tricky card. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this Manifest Dread as many times as much as I can afford it. So we're gonna manifest all of this Dread. And this is gonna give me a shit ton of mana. Okay, and we are going to do this. Is that like... I thought you... whenever you cast your second spell... oh. Oh. Is the game name The Gathering Arena? No, it's Magic the Gathering Arena. It's free on Steam. Now he's going to be somewhat scared to attack now because I have a lot of 6/6s on my field, so he's probably going to hold off on attacking. but that's a mistake because those cards I snagged out of the ether just now includes Avatar's Wrath, which is a silly card that will allow me to do quite a bit. Oh, I like that card. Okay, cool. We get to do this cheaply too. We want to keep that one on. So this will knock everything back into everyone's hands. And we're going to continue doing this. Get more creatures out. And more lands out. I'm almost out of lands, by the way. Get this creature out. Boop. This one generates a new land for free, and we start attacking. And one additional benefit of Avatar's Wrath is that it makes it so that he can't cast his airbent spells this turn, so he only has one card to use right now. And I have lethal on the board already. Oh, he's got a little chocobo. It's really cool to do threats around every corner and airbending that just over and over again, because it's just such a great card. Threats around every corner is amazing, by the way. Look at all that. Look at all that. Okay, I don't need to do this. We're just gonna make one of these fly, boop, and then we'll attack with this. And how much do I have? 8, 9, 10. So we can do this 9. No, we can do that 8. Sorry. So now I got 8 2/2s. Everything got buffed up. He's pretty screwed. And if he has some kind of crazy card, I could have used this to just start doing a loop of me just bringing cards back into my hand. And I have to say your voice is very calming. Oh, thank you. I can do a loop where I bring Manifest Dread cards back into my hand, and then casting them for cheaper than what they would normally be back onto the battlefield. And I have a kind of an infinite loop of just doing that. I'm not a voice actor. People keep saying that I probably should try that, but it's just not something I can see myself actually breaking into. Too much competition, and I'm not good at like promoting myself. So to go over some of the cards that I used to actually win that, one was Volvari's Onslaught. This converts your mana into Dread, and that allows me to get a lot of creatures out very quickly if I have the mana for it. I did it 4 times there, so I got 4 creatures out, each with 4 1/1 counters on them, so that was pretty strong. Then after that, I used the staff to bring one of those creatures back into my hand, and one of those creatures was made using Avatar's Wrath, which I used to knock out all of his creatures off the battlefield and leave one of my creatures still on the battlefield. From there, I just casted from those airbent creatures to get my board back to a pretty decent state. That's one way of like going about doing it. That's kind of like my big win condition, one of my big win conditions. But freaking this Appa Steadfast Warrior Guardian can also airbend all my permanents back into my hand, and I can then cast those permanents over and over again just by bringing this back into my hand and then casting it again later. So that's why I have Glider Staff, by the way, as a extra way of getting Steadfast Guardian back into my hand. It's a great like combination of things. It's kind of hard to get that whole like engine running on this because I do need a lot of mana to make all that work. So I mean, Manifest Dread really does provide the mana that I need, but it's still, I'm gonna mulligan. It's still kind of iffy on whether or not it's possible all the time. Yeah, we'll keep this, and I think I'm gonna take the Guardian back out. Through these cards, I have a bunch of mana already. There's 3 using the lands that I have here, 4 if you include this, 5, 6 if you include this, and 7 if you include this. So we have great mana to begin with this particular start. We'll take a forest. Yes, if you unlock cards in this game, you do keep it within this game. Oh shit, is this one of those decks? You do keep the cards after you like open the packs and stuff. We'll take a half. Because if this deck is what I think it is, it leverages a lot of low-cost creatures. You do get to recognize decks over time too, by the way. He's looking at the face down card, he probably doesn't know what it is because this mechanic is from a few sets ago. Mill a card, yeah, he's doing something. I don't know what he's doing. Let's just keep growing. Bring that back into hand. We got enough of that. Let's just keep increasing our land count for right now. Heaped Harvest is one of my favorite cards from the Bloomburrow set, by the way. I'm going to attack using this. There's a chance he'll actually block it, but I don't think he will. He's trying to mill his deck currently. He's going to put a bunch of cards into his graveyard and then use a card to bring back one of those cards to the battlefield for cheaper than it would normally be to cast it. So that's bad news, of course, but I do have 2 counters in my hand already for that. So I got that going for me. These are also too cheap for me to destroy, right? No, I was wrong. I can do it. So let's do it. So I choose one of his cards that will be exiled, and he gets to either choose another one or you'll choose the same one. There is no advantage of choosing another one, at least not that I know of. But yeah, all the Toaster, all the cards that you unlock in this game, you will get to keep, by the way. So you don't have to worry about the losing cards if you lose games and stuff like that. There's no mechanic like that I know of. Even if you do boosters and stuff, you'll keep all those cards that you unlock or use in those boosters, unless a booster says something otherwise. I have seen drafts and stuff like that have said something like that. So do we draw 3 cards? I do beat him on mana, so okay, so we got 1, so 1, 2, 4. We can cast this 4 times again. I'm worried that he's white-black, so he probably has a lot of removal. Either individual removals or the white type of removal that wipes out the entire board. If you use a card, it will vanish. Nah, it's nothing like that. If it was like that, I don't think anyone would play the game. But I will say it is pretty aggressively monetized, too. Alright. No attacks. I kind of want to keep these creatures. I can airbend them back into my hand using Avatar's Wrath. Or another card, because I do have Steadfast right here. And enough mana. I hope I get another card to airbend. Actually, this will airbend, won't it? You just chose a random one. There was a threats around every corner. Damn it, I wanted that. Alright, well, we'll start turning these face up then, if that's the case. The most dangerous ones I'll turn face up. When I turn them face up, by the way, their normal effects will come into play, by the way. So, not any unsummon effects, only effects that are like... Interesting choice. Only effects that are like on attack effects and stuff like that. Now, I still have Avatar's Wrath, so if he summons in something really scary, I can use this to knock it out. How's the music, by the way? Is it at a decent level? I hope it is. Something I will say, that if you do decide to get into this game, sometimes people will burn out the timer for no reason. Okay. Yeah, he's killing everything I got. That's okay. Because I just pulled exactly what I need. 4 was last time. I think I got 6 this time. How many cards do I have? 32 left? God, that is such a powerful card. I've officially used up all of my lands in my deck, by the way. So unless he has another board wipe, he's pretty screwed. Okay, cool. He's taking my Wrath. That's fine. Roommate's dog is up and moving around. It's the second time he's gotten up today. It's a really old dog, by the way. Does that work? Oh, no, that doesn't work. No, I guess that works. Okay, weird. Killed my staff, that son of a bitch. Fountain Pour is one of my favorite land cards. We'll take this. And we're gonna attack with everything. He has no mana, really. By the way, we really fucked this guy up, by the way. Look how much land I have. I have like 20 land. He has 5. No wonder he still had cards in hand. He had not enough land. Also, the music just changed. So I gotta fix that before I get hit by copyright. I don't know if this copyright or not. So we're gonna take a quick look to see what this guy's catalog looks like. Oh yeah, it's all music, just like what we were listening to, so this is good. Does he have a playlist? Yeah, here we go. And we'll skip to the next one because we've listened to this one. Alright, cool. Cool. Sorry, I just want to make sure I don't get freaking banned. Okay. So yeah, the the big thing with this particular deck is you grow fast. You grow real fast. And that comes down to threats around every corner, just bringing out a lot of land, and also Heaped Harvest, which does the same thing, but like it's not as good. It's just another way of doing that. Also, Under the Skin is pretty useful for that too, and of course the Onslaught, which once you have a lot of land, this gets more and more powerful. And then the creatures I actually have in the deck involve Airbending, which is fantastic when you have dread mechanics. It's a pretty decent deck, and I probably have a fair amount of clips that I can make out of that. So we're gonna move on to the next deck. It's the Lizard deck. This Lizard deck is a mono red deck, so I don't have any other colors other than red and colorless stuff. And the thing with this deck is it has a very low cost for a lot of its creatures, and these creatures both synergize with each other and also make it more difficult for the enemy to do things. So like Magebane Lizard will deal damage to anyone who casts a non-creature spell. That includes me. So if I cast a non-creature spell, this would spit damage at me as well. But it's also great for countering people who are like doing a lot of instants and sorceries and stuff. I got Pyrotechnic Performer, which is a surprisingly powerful card in the right circumstances. You cast it for a disguise cost, and then you turn it over when you have the disguise like amount that you need to turn it over. So the disguise cost is 3 mana, and then to undisguise it is 1 more mana in this case. And when this is turned over, it deals its damage, like its power, to the opponent directly, which means I can buff this up before I flip it over, and then when I flip it over, all those buffs get shot straight at the enemy. It's extremely powerful. I'm surprised not very many people use it because it is almost unblockable. It's pretty much unblockable. So that's what we're going to be. That's like the, not the linchpin, because it's just a small part of what we're going to be doing, but it's one of the more surprisingly good things. I'll explain more cards as we go. Also, this deck got me to Mythic, by the way, which is like one of the higher ranks in the game. So, advantage of having so many cheap cards is I almost never have to mulligan. This Flame Cash Gecko is pretty good. Its main effect is, the main effect that I use with it is if an opponent has lost HP during the turn that this is summoned in, it generates mana, just 2 mana, but because it's like, you know, a little bit of, interesting, a little bit of mana, it actually helps out quite a bit. We can do this, but is that really worth it? Let's see if he blocks this. He did. Interesting. Okay. We're gonna disguise this. I'm not too worried about losing that creature because I have a lot of creatures. This is a very creature-focused deck. He's milling me. That's fine. I can only double the power of this right now, so we're going to do this. And we're going to bring this out for the 3 mana. Okay, and then we're going to create a fish. Fountain Pour is amazing. It's like almost a guaranteed grab for me every time I make a deck. The main thing is you can pay 1 life to create a 1/1 blue fish token. You'd be surprised how useful that is in like a lot of situations. He's going to mill me to death. That is a very milly kind of situation. That's not good. We're going to have to kill this creature. Alright. And we need to kill him fast. Like fast, because he's going to mill my entire deck at this rate. So we're going to double this guy's power. Ah, shit, I didn't have the mana to finish off that combo. I have 9 cards in my discard pile right now. Okay, make that 13 cards. Oh, I got this. I got this. Okay, brainwashing. We're gonna brainwash. This takes control of one of his creatures for 1 turn. And gives it haste. And then all we do is attack. He gave up. I'm so glad I didn't use brainwashing before that. That's the interesting thing about red decks, by the way. It's either you win like real early on, or it is you're fighting tooth and nail. So that deck that guy was running is a mill deck. Basically, what that means is he takes your cards and puts them into your graveyard like quickly. That's his whole thing. He's trying to mill you faster than you can kill him. And he was on point. Or he was like on track to kill me in 2 turns. Actually. Hey, yep, how's it going? Hard Claw is a pretty good card. Also, he has a Leyline Axe. That's not good. Don't worry, the losses will come pretty soon. He is doing that. 3 damage to attacking creature. Would die, exile on. Let's just do the extra damage to him. He gave up. Okay. Well, that was a quick one. He did not like that. Oh, well, one of the reasons why I'm probably winning so much is because I'm using some pretty decent decks, and I'm currently in silver at the moment. And we just completed another challenge. Ah, fuck, white and blue. We'll do a few more lizards. This is the first time you've seen an arena stream on YouTube? Really? I feel like a lot of people stream the game. Maybe I got something good going on in the in terms of the algorithm. Oh, Toaster has never seen this game before now, I believe. So I should explain how packs work to him. So every like 3 months, usually a new set releases. By the way, Toaster. So like a year ago, Final Fantasy came out. Before that, Dragonstorm, Ether Drift, so on and so forth. And each of these sets has so many cards in them, and each pack that you open has like 8 cards, I believe. And right now I'm building out my Avatar set, so I'm going to go ahead and get one of these cards using the gold I got from these quests I've been doing. I have 2,000 gold currently. And blap. That got me a pack. I'm going to get one more pack because I'm real close to getting a golden pack, honestly. And there we go. So I got a golden pack. This will just be any number of cards, usually mythics. Oh, it's from different universes? Yes, they have been adding different universes. Hey, I got the Hydra monster. Oh, nice. Yipned, have you ever heard, since you play Commander, have you ever heard of Magic the Gathering Forge? I've been practicing a little bit of Commander and Forge, honestly, like making decks in Forge. And that game has like an adventure mode where you can challenge yourself to a commander using a commander deck yourself to see what, you know, works for Commander and stuff like that. And it's a good time. I don't currently... Hey. That's pretty good. But yeah, look up Magic the Gathering Forge, by the way. Because that's... Also, it's free. That's one of the main things. It's free. And you can use any cards from any set and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty sick. It's free, has an adventure mode, a quest mode, I believe some online play, but I don't know how many people actually use it, honestly. You probably have to just join a Discord and set up matches that way. And, like, there's a lot of different modes, and one of the cool things about it is you get to fight against decks that you probably never would see, like, in casual play. For example, in Magic the Gathering Forge, I encountered an enemy that used Howling Mine, which makes both players draw extra cards, and then they milled me out by having me draw cards constantly. Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty cool way to find new cards and stuff like that. I personally never use like websites that are like that. I never use websites that are like, here are the best cards, or here are the meta decks, or anything like that. I just kind of do my own thing and find things that work. So Arena's really good for that, but Forge is the cheapest way of going about doing that, that's for sure. Arena, if you're playing Arena for free, it takes a while to get to the point where you're doing things like this. He is not casting very much. In fact, he's not casting anything. He has Absolute Virtue, which is not great news for me. Next turn I'll be able to bomb him, though. Let's see here. This Valley Flamecaller is pretty cool. It increases the amount of damage that lizards do. So, it's something that... Oh, fuck. Okay, we're good. I think we're good. Same. Why would I want to build something everyone else uses? Exactly. It's protection from everything. Protection from each of your opponents. What does that mean? What does that mean? Does this work? Does this work? What's this do? Other tapped creatures have indestructible. Okay. Ow. Okay, I do have it now. Okay. We could use... Oh, this is tricky, by the way. This, yes, 2 HP. Protection from each of your opponents. Oh, I see. Okay, I can kill this for sure. So, what I need to do is... need to get Hearthbone Battler out, and then I use Cut Propulsion to kill his Absolute Virtue. Oh, no, wait, even better than that. I just use Cut Propulsion to kill his Absolute Virtue, and then I flip this card over. Okay, never mind. We're not flipping that card over. That's unfortunate. He has friggin' 13 damage coming my way, which means I need to kill him this turn. But everything he has is tapped. Okay, never mind. He just put something out. Okay, he got rid of that. That's unfortunate. Well, I need to kill this. Well, oops. I forgot that this is protecting it. Alright, so he had me kind of in a locked situation where that card was protecting his Absolute Virtue, and his Absolute Virtue was protecting him. So that was my first loss. That was unfortunate. That particular combo is especially hard to deal with. I knew something was up once he got that cuddly thing out, the Duskmourn card out. What that Duskmourn card did was, whenever it's tapped and survives the round, it can put out a card from your hand for free. It's actually pretty strong. it's a really silly combination. Yep, Ned. You said that you got into this game recently. What's your favorite set so far? I've been playing since quite some time ago, but I've been playing more actively since Duskmourn came out. Bloomburrow and Duskmourn. This card generates mana when it comes out if you've done damage to the enemy. So now I got the mana I spent on it back. And this card increases the amount of damage that lizards do. He's still not playing anything? There it is. Gonna disguise this. Okay. Depending on what cards I get next, I may be able to finish this up with just that. Players cannot gain life. Damage cannot be prevented. To be honest, I don't recognize this. When this enters, deal damage to each player equal to the number of non-basic lands that player controls. Okay. Okay. How many matches have I played so far today? I haven't been keeping track. What's the kicker on this? 3? Okay, so if this goes poorly, I can always steal his unit. Remember, these are actually all doing 1 additional damage than what they're listed as. Probably should have just used this to make it so he can't block. He has no mana. Okay, that's fine. If that didn't kill him, I would have flipped this over and finished him off using the disguise thing. I've been keeping track how many games I played. Actually, I have a way of checking that. Let me check my Untapped. Got myself a card. Ether Drift card. Zombie Cat Warrior. Okay. Interesting. That particular set is actually kind of interesting because it has a new mechanic called Speed. So... I've played around 7 matches today. And out of those 7 matches, I've had 1 loss. Which is like insanely good statistics, especially for this game. What do you think of Lorwyn? I have not really played many Lorwyn yet. Like, I'm looking forward to it because it's a return of an old set that has some interesting lore and stuff like that. But like it like the original set came out during a time when I wasn't really playing the game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Lorwyn and Duskmourn because the idea behind those two planes or whatever is they're just mirrors of each other. One is like a good guy, you know, like everything's good and great and like the Shire and all that kind of stuff, and the other one is like evil, like swampy, like evil stuff going on. And I'm interested in like what they're going to do with that kind of in lore wise. Here's an old deck that I haven't really played recently, and it's not super competitive. It's kind of a hodgepodge of different things like Gossip's Talent and whoops, did not mean to remove that. Fuck, I don't even know what I removed. Sea Chip? Sea Chip. It was Sea Chip. I think it was 2 copies of Sea Chip. So this deck is interesting. How's my new year? It was okay. I mean, I'm surviving. This deck is all about drawing extra cards, by the way. So, Pawn Prophet allows me to draw extra cards. Thieving Otter, if it gets an attack in, draws extra cards. Curious Inquiry makes clues, which allows me to draw extra cards. And stuff like that. And the interesting thing about this deck is its use of Doppelgang and Gossip's Talent, which I don't think I've ever seen anyone use Gossip's Talent. When this is basically a enchantment that has 3 stages, and the first stage is when a creature you control enters, Surveil 1. Second stage is when you attack, target attacking creature with power 3 or less cannot be blocked. That's the real benefit of this. And the third stage is resummon a creature whenever it hits. So it can be extremely good if you have a bunch of synergies like Thieving Otter, who draws cards and stuff like that. And there's a few extra things in here too, as more like emergency win conditions. We're going to do this deck next because there's some interesting things in this deck that is kind of hard to explain without actually just showing it. And they revolve around creating tokens and stuff like that using Quina. Yeah, it's super strange. It's a very like niche, extremely niche interaction with how Quina works. And I'm still in the process of figuring this deck out because I feel like I don't remember adding Unending Whisper. And compared to other decks that I've played today, this one's not as competitive. It's just an interesting deck. So Unending Whisper, draw a card, harmonize to draw another card. We will not be harmonizing all that much. This is just going to be me drawing more cards. Travel the overworld, draw 4 cards. It gets cheaper the more towns I have out. So these towns are basically lands, special versions of lands. That's an angel deck. It's not good news for me. Got the Gossip Talent out. It's really not good news for me that it's an angel deck. But yeah, I don't know much about Lorwyn. I'll be honest. I've never actively played the game during the time when Lorwyn and Shadowmoor came out. I'm happy with that. The issue with playing against angels is the fact that all the angels are flying. So it's either I need to come up with a way to kill those angels, or I need to outpace them in terms of damage I'm doing. Shit. He's tricky too. So he added lifelink to this angel and also stole my shield. Is an angel deck pretty effective against your deck? Yes, in this case. Because the way it's looking, I may not even have a way of dealing with this at all. 2 or less. Oh, hey. I do actually have a way to kill the ghost. Okay, that's good. And this will generate another mana, and this will... I'll graveyard that. I don't need that. And we're going to do this to draw another card. We don't need another mana. We need some kind of counter. Okay, that might work. And we're going to go green. And then we are going to travel the Overlord. I don't have anything against air cards. Yes, that's basically what's happening here. But we just drew what we needed. This is going to come as a surprise. We may have drawn what we needed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Will this work? They're getting pretty strong. That's kind of scary. Okay. We have 8 mana, which is like the minimum amount of mana that this will use. I'm going to copy 2 things. And we're going to go with him and him. We're just going to auto pay for that. There we go. We copied his stuff. And I like that because we're going to keep that. And that didn't work as well as I was hoping. Kill that. I was hoping that these would give me life when they came in, but I don't think that's how they work. There's something else that he's doing to get that life.
I must retreat.
Killed his planeswalker. I still have the ability to do doubling season and then a realms sketching. But I don't know what to do realms sketch on. Stasis Snare is not great news for me. Oh, he chose that. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that's an artifact. Ooh. It's not looking good, man. Oh, it's fine. We got this. We got this. We totally got this. Oh, wait, that's an enchantment. Fuck, that's an enchantment. That's not what I thought it was. Okay, hold on a sec. Alright, I guess our best bet is this one. Got 2 more of those. Curious Inquiry may be good. No attacks. If that wasn't an enchantment and rather an artifact, I would have been able to make copies of it and steal his stuff off the front. Fuck. Fuck. Extra fuck. I should have put that into the trash can. Now he has lifelink on everything. That means when he attacks here, he's going to get a lot more powerful in terms of those angels. This is something that White excels at. Gaining life and getting their creatures more powerful based off of how much life that they're gaining. Lander's not going to do me any good. We'll throw this guy out. I get it. He has an enchantment that makes my stuff come in tap. That's fine. He's also drawing cards every time he gains HP. Throw that in the trash. Activate his ability, which draws 2 cards from me. Okay, that didn't work out. Unfortunate. Yeah, they gain life through various means. Lifelink and stuff like that. I've had games where I've gotten over 100 HP, by the way. Lifelink is really, really powerful. Oh, we completed the little quest I was wanting to do. Cool. Okay. Let's do one more match with that deck, because we got a bad matchup that time. We got a really bad matchup. I was struggling to respond to him at all. And Doppelgang came in just at the right time. Okay, this is looking alright. Pretty decent ramp. I'm not doing anything until turn 2, 3. But other than that, it's all right. I think one weakness of this particular deck is that it doesn't have any cheap creatures. Oh, it's currently 1251 for me right now. Yeah, there's a lizard deck. That's not good. It feels like every time I play this particular deck, whatever deck I come across, it's a situation where I'm saying, that's not good. So, I don't really have anything I can do until I get to a certain amount of mana here. So we're just going to take some hits right at the beginning here. Good news is some of my creatures actually do have decent like capabilities in terms of their stats. Unsummon for blue as a counterspell, it would be a good idea. Run away together is all right, but like it sometimes is a bit too situational. Unsummon would allow me to get rid of these tokens for free, essentially. So I agree with you there. That'd probably be a good addition. Isn't there a new like unsummon that came out with this new set, this new avatar set that's very similar to unsummon? Also, I get the feeling that he has something in hand. Okay, what's this do when it gets 4 or more quest counters? You may copy that ability, you may choose new targets for that ability. Well, shit. He plotted something. I need to redo this deck. I keep mentioning that I don't have enough cheap creatures to throw out. Everything in this deck is expensive as shit, like Doppelgang and Quina and all that. And I could make this deck better. I think there is something in this deck that can be good. It just doesn't have the right angles, you know, like it doesn't you know, go up quick enough. And like all my cheap stuff is like Curious Inquiry and Unending Whisper and stuff like that. They're not creatures. So let's take a quick look and see what creatures we can get into this deck. And preferably probably like dual type, dual. Evidence, Flying Landfall could be good, maybe. Do you go down in rank if you quit a game? Yes. Although the rank, going down a rank doesn't really matter much, honestly, especially when going down in rank doesn't really matter all that much, especially in the ranks that I'm currently at, which is gold. If it's mythic, then oh man, I lost some, you know, some stuff. When I take cards out of my graveyard, I draw a card. Manifest Dread. There's a few Manifest Dreads that would do that. At the beginning of your end step, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card unless a permanent has entered the battlefield face down. I could also do this. I mean, that's kind of a cop-out, but like it is a pretty good 2-mana creature with Death Touch, flying, and an exhaust ability to bring more mana out. Let's go with that. 4 of those. I don't think Isolation is going to do me any good. Unending Whisper is kind of I'm dead by the time I can use it again, so it's just a dead draw. Prawn Puff, it's alright. I like Quina because it has some interesting mechanics. So if 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus 1 plus a 1/1 green frog creature token are created instead. Now, what's not immediately obvious with this is that frog actually inherits any 1/1 token counters that the original creature would be making. So it's a 1/1 green frog if it's just a standard token like a lander or something like that. But if it's like Zimon's one creature that has a bunch of 1/1 counters on it, the frog will also have those 1/1 counters. Same with Xanarkin's creature that's created with 6 mana here. Put a 1/1 counter for each land you control onto that thing that this summons. So yeah, the frog would inherit that as well. It's a very strange, like unintuitive thing because it's just not very obvious through just the text on the cards. But yeah, the frog would be as powerful as that. What's this do? Lesson spells, okay. Alright. We could do Spectral Sailor as well. 4 mana to draw a card, has flash and flying. We could be silly and do Bubble Smuggler. You disguise this, and when you flip it over for its disguise cost, it gets 4 1/1 counters onto it. That's for 3 mana, and I'm running into issues before I have 3 mana. Fog Bank. It's pretty decent. The Mystic. Actually, I do have a lot of card draw on this. So the Mystic may actually turn out being pretty good. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature. It also synergizes with Homunculus Horde, which we do have in here. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a token that's a copy of this creature. This multiplies itself, essentially. And this creates 1/1 flying creatures whenever you do stuff. Flying Exhaust, put 2 1/1 counters onto it. I always like this frog, honestly. This frog's pretty nice. At the beginning of your upkeep, return another creature you control to its owner's hand. If you do, put a 1/1 counter onto this creature, otherwise you may return this creature to your hand. So this gets stronger and it removes... Oh, what's the best card you have right now? Ah, man, that's really hard to say. I don't know. We could also do Rubber Belt. Rubber Belt's an interesting card because it's a 1/1 for 1 mana, but it has a lot of like little things that you can do with it. It surveils 2 when it comes in, and then when it's dead, you can exile it from your graveyard and put a 1/1 counter onto a target creature. So it works very, very, very well in certain dredge decks. But the Surveil 2 is actually really nice. Yeah, I'm going to throw it in, and we're going to remove a few things. First, I think I'm going to remove the Engineer because he's alright, but his activated ability is too expensive. Realm Sketching is kind of eh. Gigantode is pretty useful, but it doesn't have reach, which is a bit of a problem. Overlord is alright because you can summon it out for 3. Doppelgang is like one of the main things about this deck. Do we need Thieving Otter? It's expensive for a 2/2, but its on-hit effect is really nice. We'll keep it. could have sworn there was like a new version of Unsummon in this new and Boomerang Basics. Yeah, there it is. So, return a target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If you controlled that permanent, draw a card. The only difference between this and Unsummon that's kind of bad is the fact that this is a sorcery and Unsummon is a instant. But the draw a card thing is kind of nice. I do have the things for it. So that's a draw card. Let's get rid of Curious Inquiry. The issue with Curious Inquiry is it produces clues, and clues are expensive to use. We're looking for speed, to increase the speed of things. So, like, I could use Boomerang Basics to return Sky Serpent back to my hand, or Pawn Prophet, or something like that, to get additional benefits out of that. If that's the case, then we're getting rid of Thieving Otter, even though I kinda like it. Could also use it on Summon Fenrir. This works on permanent, so I could cast Overlord for the cheap price and then use this to bring it back to my hand. I mean, it's not a great idea, but it works. Whoops. Let's remove these cost things. No instants or sorceries for... Oh, that's the reason right there. There we go. I have to remember that this works. It's possible that I'll be able to make a blue-green that returns things from my graveyard to my hand and draw and all that stuff. That would be kind of interesting. This could be interesting if I had the mana to use it. I'm gonna throw it in, just to test it out. Music? Okay. Just making sure I was still in the same playlist. Okay. Let's give this a shot. We got the Boomerang card, which works as a sorcery and not an instant, so it's kind of iffy on whether or not it's actually going to be useful. And we added in a few more creatures, a few more cheap creatures, and we removed a few creatures that were kind of iffy in terms of how good they are. Would you look at that? Did I choose blue on this? This is a non-land permanent. Yep, okay. Unfortunately, we didn't really draw any decent cards here, so... Or decent, like, early. Is it drum and bass, the music? Yeah, it's very... it is very drum and bass, isn't it? That's not good. So they're doing a token-based deck. Okay, we got Quina. That's a pretty decent card. So Quina's cool because Quina can produce frog tokens whenever I produce tokens. So that's really nice. If I get the right cards, I'll be able to make some big frogs. Big frog. That's not good. Hey, I got the right card. I just need 2 more mana to actually make it happen. Quina is actually the first card that I was considering for this deck. That's why I have Quina and a big-ass frog, because it synergizes with Quina still. Although I think the deck has moved away from that significantly since I've made this deck initially. Gonna have 4 mana. We need 6 mana for this. That's 6 mana, right? Yeah, it is 6 mana. Which isn't great. That's actually really not great. Boomerang. Let's bonk that away. He only has 2 mana. What the fuck? Shit, man. So how does this work? Put X/1/1 and then counter up to 1 target spell unless its controller pays that mana. So I could use this to put a 1/1 counter onto one of my creatures and then counter his next spell. Ah, here it is. So boop, 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 boop. Auto pay. And he can't afford this. Unless this works differently than I thought it did. Oh, there it goes. Okay, cool. Okay, that's good. We're gonna make a fish. Because that's a token, and that will produce a frog token. Nice. Yeah, nice. It's a great card. I just never use it to its fullest potential. It only costs 3 mana to counter the whatever they got going on. So if they go all in onto a spell, then you end up in this situation where they get their spell countered, and you get the 1/1 token onto your thing. That's not good. Things is getting a little bit spicy out there. That's okay. Because I do have Xanderkind, Doppelgang, and that's it. I'm actually pretty screwed. Hate to do it, but I'm getting rid of the fish. At least our lines are as wide as each other. It's too bad that like he has such strong units right now, though. Oh, I can eat frogs at any point, by the way. I'm so screwed. I'm so screwed. That ability triggers for an additional time. I'm so screwed. Is that legendary? It is. This is an Avatar-based deck, by the way. This is all from the new set. I haven't seen a single like card that's not from the new set from him. So I'm still kind of like figuring out like what is going on over there. We'll block that with 1 frog. He has enough trample to finish me off next turn, though. I can only duplicate 1 thing. Makes no sense for me to duplicate a lot of that stuff. Maybe I can duplicate his ally his ally thing, you know? I just didn't get the mana I needed. So now I have a copy of her. That didn't really do me much good. Okay, we'll call it here. His trample would have killed me this turn. If I blocked everything for the trample, his other creatures would have killed me. And if I tried to block all the other creatures, his trample creatures would have killed me. So it's kind of a Kind of a catch-22. Although I do think that this deck has something going. I do think that there's something decent here. Just keep in mind, if you do end up playing this game, Toaster, that you'll oftentimes be put up against decks that are either direct counters for you or like your counters for them. So I'm finding a lot of sweats right now. Yeah, it's just how the matchmaking works in this game. I'm just glad I haven't run into anyone who gets so salty that they just stop playing in the middle of it and just make me wait the entire counter. I've run into that way too much. It just hasn't happened yet today. This guy is a mana ramper, so he currently has 2 mana, 3 mana. He currently has 4 mana with Patchwork Banner. What's he going to choose as a creature? Elf. Okay, it's an elf-based mana ramper. Okay, we got a Quina, that's good. We have... Yeah, we have Quina. Not worried about the damage. He does have 3 green mana that he's not using right now. Interesting. Green doesn't really have any way of like countering spells on its own. It's blue that has all the spell counters. Another banner. Elf, I bet. And so what do I do next? I could get the Mystic out. I don't want to block this. Get the Mystic out. Or I could wait. Or I could duplicate his banners. That'd be funny. How much do I have? 3? 4? Okay. We're gonna try Repulsive Mutation. Yep. So we Repulsive Mutate onto Quina and stop the wall of Ba Sing Se. There we go. That was an 8 mana spell he just dropped. Gonna destroy one of his artifacts. Get the Mystic out. Okay, so one of those is gone. He still has a lot of mana, by the way. I have 5. He has like 5, 6, 7, 8. He has 8. Ah, he has one of those creatures. Shit. Shit. And he has a Stationer too. Okay. This isn't good because at the beginning of your second main phase, if this is tapped, you can put a permanent card from your hand to the battlefield. That's just not good for me. No blocks, I have plenty of HP. He doesn't have any cards in hand, but you know, it's not great. It's still not great. 4, 5, 6. We need to rush him down. So I have a method of doing this. If I get this up to level 3, I can make this so that it puts this frog back into my exile and back into the battlefield. And what that means is I will draw a card every time this card attacks. And he's trying to race me for some reason because... Yeah, he gave up. He's giving up. So if he didn't attack there, I would have been able to get this Pawn Prophet to attack and draw me an extra card and make it a fairy and a bunch of other small little things. Just a little synergy there. Didn't realize you guys like the drums and bass so much. I've been listening to jazz on the stream, like up until this point, and friggin' yeah, I've been listening to a lot of jazz on stream instead of the drum and bass. Oh, also, if you guys like the stream, feel free to like and comment and subscribe and all that stuff. Friggin', it helps me out tremendously in the algorithm, if you're wondering. And if you're already subscribed and liking and all that stuff, thanks, it helps out. You stream on Twitch too? Yes. And that's where that bot came from. Don't go to that bot thing that guy mentioned, by the way. I'm using something called Restream, and that's freaking it's really useful, but it's also like sometimes you get bots like that. And if someone is talking on one side, they'll be able to see the messages from the other side, and so on and so forth. It's really nice. It's really quite nice. I'm just gonna check something real quick before I continue. Okay, cool. It started this day like absolute shit. I had some options on the markets, and they went horribly down. Like, I had $350 to begin the day with, and it went down by $200 because of those options. And it's like, oh shit, oh no. But I was able to. I'm digging my way out of that. Freaking. But yeah, it was a terrible start to the day. Okay, one more match with this deck. I think we pretty much have demonstrated all of its goodness already, but I just want to do one more match. We're starting with 2 mana, but that's not that big of an issue because if you look, we have a lot of cards that are like real cheap. So, fuck, Authority of the Consuls. Also, why am I so framey all of a sudden? Hold on a sec. Disable the preview there, maybe that'll help. Can you send me your Twitch link, please? Yes, just one moment. I'm the nice guy who does not like slowing down during a game. Where is my Twitch? Oh wow, I actually got my name as Twitch. Okay, cool. Okay. He killed my shit, didn't he? We'll draw an extra card. Boomerang. Okay, okay. I'm from America, specifically it's Kansas. I'm from Kansas. Minimize that. Got blue. It's a bat deck. It's a bat deck. Oh, thank you for following. It's fine. We'll do fine. So he's gaining HP every single time I put down a creature, and this guy is taking HP from me every time he gains HP. Which means he's basically draining me of all my life by me doing the stuff that I normally do, which is not great. And he's killing off any creatures I have too. That's not great too. Bat decks are... I don't have any bat decks. It's very much a Bloom Burrow set kind of thing, from what I can tell. So yeah, he's gonna drain me of 2 HP by me doing that. Nope, that's not gonna work for me. Let's see here. Affinity for towns. This could work actually. We do need a flyer. And we're just going to knock this back into my hand to draw that. So with blue cards, well, there that goes, and all those. With blue cards, oh, he's taking it too. That son of a bitch. you have a lot of deck control when it comes down to blue decks. So freaking when you got like cards that will give you card draw, and you also have cards that it comes in tapped. I'm dead. I keep forgetting Authority of the Consuls makes things come in tapped. Yeah, it's just, yeah, you got a lot of card draw and like ability to tell what cards are coming up with blue decks, blue cards in general. Freaking, you got just a lot of card draw and cards that are synergized off of card draw as well. So that's what blue's got going on for it. There's also a lot of cards that make the enemy mill cards into their back into their deck and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that was the last game I'm doing with that deck. There was a point where I thought I was close to making that deck hit Mythic, but I don't think I'm there anymore. I need to redo it. We could do some raccoon shenanigans. We haven't done anything like that yet. At least not today. There's a lot of decks I need to go through and like figure out again. So raccoons, their whole thing is... This isn't a raccoon deck. This is something else. Oh, maybe it is. Their whole thing... You think blue is harder to play? Not... I think the hardest for me to play is black, but that's because I don't like using cards that like do the discard thing or kill creatures directly. I like doing creature cards. Blue is interesting because if you get things rolling with blue, you basically always have access to your win conditions and stuff like that. 4 creature allies. What the hell was I doing with this deck? The chalk outline. What the hell? No, this is something else. This is not a raccoon deck. Lizard. Where is that raccoon deck? It's probably this one. Yeah, here it is. Oh, I had triple triad in this one? Damn. And Charred Foyer. Seems like overkill. I think I'll remove Charred Foyer, maybe. Sorcerer Schemes. What would I use Sorcerer Schemes on? Suplex. It'd be Suplex and Bulk Up and stuff. Okay. Just double checking this. Okay. Looks good. So raccoon decks are interesting because they have a specific mechanic called Expend. What Expend is if you cast spell, like if you use a certain amount of mana per turn, the Expend will activate an ability on those raccoon cards based on whatever those cards are. Those activated mechanics could be anything from like you gain some HP to your raccoons get more powerful for this turn to you draw additional cards and stuff like that. We'll throw this in here. Not all raccoons have it, by the way. For example, these brazen boys don't have it. Okay. Exile 2 cards from your library, choose one of them until the next turn you make play that card. Okay. How did he get that out? For 2/2 for 1 mana? Damn. I don't know what deck is the hardest to play, honestly. I think maybe tricolor decks? How do you get good cards in MTG? It's just one of those things where you just get gold from doing quests, and you just slowly build up your repertoire. I think that's the main way. You just slowly build up your library. And as you play against other people, you just keep an eye out for interesting cards and stuff like that. Like, for example, I didn't know that this card costed 1 and it has 2/2 to begin with. That seems like a pretty powerful, like, little card just as a 1 cost. This is unfortunate. I probably should have gone with Command Bridge. Let's do this. I need the green mana. Okay, what Sorcerer's Schemes does is it returns an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard, and it has flashback. So next time I'll be able to cast it for 5 mana, which is expensive. The initial casting is cheaper. So I brought back Firebranded Scheme. This guy's gonna beat the shit out of me, honestly, because he has 2 Innkeeper's Talents, and that's a nightmare for me. Innkeeper's Talents increases the strength of your creatures. For you know, just in general. I'm gonna gift a card using this to kill one of his innkeepers. He's gonna draw a card, and then I am going to do this again to do that, and we're gonna take the banner and we're gonna put that down next turn. We have to not attack this time. Winsy, if you're getting into this game and trying to, like, get cards and stuff, I would recommend also doing jump starts. It's a part of, the event system, and, with jump starts, what they basically do is allow you to, just get a bunch of cards really quick of, like, synergistic way, like, things. So yeah, definitely look into jump starts. I'll show what they look like in the menu before the next round, which it's probably coming up pretty quickly because I'm on the back foot. Man, this guy really loves that Edge Rover card. Alright, well, I have 3 HP, so if I don't block both of them, I'm dead, so I have to block both of them. Shit. Alright, let's try this. Suplex? Son of a bitch. The only thing I can do is, like, kill his boy here. And that's about it. That is unfortunate. Command Bridge is a land that needs other lands in play, but this can be tapped for any color type. It's actually really useful, but it wasn't what I needed in that moment. Okay, so if you guys don't know, in this game, there are events where... Let me resign this one. It costs 1,000 gold to get in, or 200 diamonds. Diamonds are hard to get. I'm gonna... Just as a way to show it off, I'm gonna use some diamonds, which is foolish. We're gonna do that. And now we get to choose one of these themed packets. Each packet is 20 cards, including lands. So you can tell what the packets specialize in based on what the name of it is, and also the color that they are. So if you want a cats deck, you would go for cats. If you want to play out of your graveyard, you'd go for graveyard. And if you want to try to mill the enemy, you'd use this. And it's randomized which ones you get and all that stuff, like which packets you get. Now, you also get to see a preview of what type of card is in the deck. And that also gives you an idea of what sets they're from. So this set is from the Tarkir 1. This one's from the Aether Storm. This one's from Foundations. So this one's probably like the oldest style of cards. This one's from the time when they had the speed mechanics. And this one's like from a dragon-based deck, or a dragon-based set. So here's Graveyard. I'm going to go ahead and choose Graveyard. And then after that, we get another option to choose one more set. So here's another graveyard, but this time it's from the Tarkir Dragonstorm one. So this one was from Ether Drift, and this is the graveyard for Tarkir. We got rats, which I always love rats, but I've already chosen rats in the past. And we got exploring, which I don't really know what that means, but it's from the Bloomburrow set. So, yeah. So if I really wanted a lot of graveyard cards, I would go for graveyard for the second one. And we will. So now we have this double graveyard set. And here are all the cards it gave me as a result of that. So the one cost, Grim Bauble, Desperate Measures, yeah, it's pretty decent. Run Over, that's pretty nice. Bloodheart Engine, that's a really nice card. Some commons in here. Here's Strategic Betrayal. Oh yeah, that got used against me earlier. Friggin'. Oh, also there's a 40 card deck, so it's a smaller deck than normal. Ooh, that's a good one. I use Alchemist Assistant all the time. Vehicles and stuff. Is it a standard deck? No, you'd have to add more cards to make it a standard one. But you'd get to keep all of these cards if you do a jump start. So this is a great way to get like cards right at the beginning, by the way. And you can easily make 1,000 gold per day doing this. Or do the 20 cards change if you start over? I kind of see what you're saying. So if you resign, you'll keep all the cards you got from that, but you don't keep the deck itself. You'd have to hit add to decks in order to keep it. So if I hit add to decks, you'll see that it is now in here. And all the cards that were there are right here. So I got one copy of all of these. Yeah, wow. One copy of all of those. And it's set to limited. So, whoopsie daisies. For some reason, it's not popping up correctly there. Oop. Yeah, well, that's annoying. I got a little graphical thing going on there. But yeah, it's a pretty decent way to get cards, discard changes. And let's do a quick event with that jump in we just spent 200 gems on for no reason. When you win one of these events, you also get a free card, by the way. And these events, this particular event anyway, is usually pretty easy to win in. You're only facing other people with decks made the same way, so it's pretty nice. This also counts towards like quest completions as well. So doing these will get you closer to getting like to get like 500 or 750 gold. So yeah, especially when you're first starting up, this is definitely a great way. Gotta work tomorrow. It's 10:30. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you had a good time, and I hope you sleep well. Let's see here. Sacrifice a creature you control with X. Interesting. Well, let's get rid of that. Strategic Betrayal. He has to sacrifice that. Okay. And then I just attack. Yeah, man. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you try out Magic, either this or Magic the Gathering Forge as well. Forge takes a little bit more to actually get started in, like installing and all that stuff, but it's still super nice. It's not as well polished as this, but it is actually free, whereas this is free in name only, really. Mounts vehicles well, sacrifice, put a 1/1. Surveil 2, then draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life. Okay, I can do that. I like that. We don't really need more mana. Got that 2 HP back because this Alchemy Assistant has lifelink. When this card dies, by the way... Oh, that's not good. When this card dies, by the way, I'll be able to put that lifelink onto a different creature. That's a big-ass dinosaur. Do I have any removal? 4 or less. Sacrifice, beginning, sacrifice, mount, vehicles, return creature, this card from your graveyard. Oh, that's useful. I guess we'll just continue like summoning things in, and this Bloodheart engine will allow me to do a few things. This will surveil every turn, and I can use it to also grab something out of my battlefield or my graveyard. That's not good. Is it creature or vehicle? Okay. Those are some big ass creatures he's putting out. 4 value or less. That's 5 value. He's thinning out my stuff. I don't need land, I need a spell. So, I'm sure that there's some kind of like... There's some kind of... What do you call it? Removal in this deck somewhere. We'll let it go through. He actually doesn't have any kind of lifelink or anything, so the amount of damage I took wasn't as bad as it seems. 6/6 actually, yeah. We'll just attack with the monkey. There's a pretty decent chance he won't block. +1. What kind of mana cost do we have? 4, 2, 3, 2. Okay. Just block the damage from coming through. We'll get rid of one of his 6/6s. Three or more kinds of counters among creatures you control. Desperate measures. Okay, when it dies, it gains. Okay. That actually may actually work out. Is he gonna block it? He did not block it, which is fine. Because I can do this. Increase its damage. And then 2 life, sacrifice an artifact or creature in addition. Okay. We're gonna sacrifice this. Desperate Measures pops off. Draw 2 cards. Get that onto the field. Throw that out. What's this do? Well, 2 cards and return a creature or vehicle. And we'll throw this out too. Two mana, 4 mana. What do we have in our... Okay. I could put the lifelink from the monkey onto this as well. I could also tap this and put a expensive card of some sort onto the battlefield too. So we're gonna block that. And we're gonna block that. That's it. It's up to max speed. Surveilling is giving me a lot more deck control than normal. You didn't use any mana that last run. Never used this card before. That's an interesting one. I can't afford that. I'm just going to attack with this boy. If he attacks with that 9/7 again, I'm going to sacrifice this guy and then use the Blood Heart to bring it back. That's a lot of blockers. It's a good thing he doesn't have trample. Alright, Bloodstone time. Bringing back the boy. Getting rid of that and doing this. Mill 2 cards, return creature or vehicle from your graveyard to your hand. Save that. Cycling, oh man. The lifelink is going to keep me alive. So I'm back up to 20 HP, he's down to 4. Nice jump start. I'll try it. Yeah, definitely try the jump starts, because you not only get the cards, but you also get a chance to actually use them and get an idea of what they do. Like these synergies, I probably wouldn't have thought of, or you know, between black and green and all that stuff. I know that black and green are known for dredging and stuff like that. Just wouldn't have thought of them. I don't know. I could take a hit actually, so we're gonna let him go ahead and hit. What's this again? One less target creature you control deals damage equal to the power of the target creature and opponent. Alright, I'll throw this out. What's a crew on this? 3? Damn. That's a huge crew. Up to 17, he's down to 4. He's still going too. Create a 1/1. Each artifact creature in your graveyard, when another dies, put a 1/1 on him. Okay. Hey, gave up. Cool. He must have gotten a very similar, like, deck to me, like, Jumpstart deck. But, you know, Jumpstart decks are based on, like, cards, so, like, a card pack, so it's not surprising. And what card did we get from that? We got a Eldraine card. Blue-black. Return target spell to its owner's hand. When this creature enters, each opponent discards a card. Okay. And unfortunately, you need to make a new Jumpstart to get another one of these free cards there. I mean, that's not really the main draw of doing Jumpstarts. The main draw of doing Jumpstarts is to kind of fill out like different synergies and stuff like that, and like it implies, it jumpstarts your whole situation. I'm gonna delete this deck though. And yeah, basically it's just a jumping off point for making new decks. But I have been streaming for 2.5 hours, or 2 hours, so I don't like to stream for super long, if I'm being honest. It's just kind of a once in a while thing for me. I need to go get something to eat and all that stuff. I think it went pretty well. We showed off a fair few decks. Next time I'll stream, I'll probably be playing Magic the Gathering Forge instead. And Winsy, if you're... I think I was telling you about Magic the Gathering Forge. If you take a look through some of my other YouTube videos, you'll see that I've been streaming that recently as well. So if you're curious about the free game that has like as many cards as you want, and you don't have to open up packs and all that stuff, that'd be something to take a look at, just to get an idea of like what's going on there. And what the hell? Lose? Get ready for the more info. It's so cool that they're re-releasing a lot of that. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good time, or have a good